But I do remember, like I said, I don't know if I talked about on this show or another platform about giving Lil Kim I Really Mean It and she didn't want it and I kept it for myself. It wasn't the same lyrics, but I wrote it for me. It's the same concept. I really mean it in the middle. But as far as me giving somebody a record and they didn't finish it, not that I remember, not off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that has happened, you know, when you've been doing this 30 years like I have.
He finally said it on camera. Cameron just cracked open the vault to one of the most debated Dipset bars ever. The Ghostwriting for A-Holes bars from I Really Mean It. The one fans spent years trying to decode. The one people try to attach to certain artists. And the first thing he makes clear, without even trying to, is he never said that bar was for Lil Kim. He never tied it to her. He never hinted it was aimed at her. What he did explain, though, was that he was in a place at that time where people were taking his ghostwriting and creative input for granted. A time where he was given ideas, writing concepts, passing around hooks, and some artists just weren't appreciating that. That frustration is the energy behind that bar, not any one person. And during that same era, while he was dealing with some people low-key overlooking his contributions, he had Lil Kim pass on the original concept for I Really Mean It. Not the lyrics, not the Dipset version we all know today, just the early idea. She didn't want the song at all, so he kept it, rebuilt it for himself, and that record ended up becoming the Dipset anthem that shifted the sound of New York City. Then Cam goes right into the Freeway story. This is where you really see how much work he was putting in behind the scenes back then. Freeway played him a batch of records, all tough records, but one jumped out immediately, the What We Do Is Wrong record. Jay-Z was already on that song. Freeway was snapping, a complete hit sitting right there collecting dust. Kim talked about how he helped get that record popping too. Now I'm about to play this clip for y'all, but before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave y'all thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Have you ever sent somebody a record and they didn't do it, but you finished it anyway and put it out?
I don't remember about that. I can't remember, I'm not sure. But I do remember, like I said, I don't know if I talked about on this show or another platform about giving Lil Kim I Really Mean It and she didn't want it and I kept it for myself. It wasn't the same lyrics, but I wrote it for me. It's the same concept. I really mean it in the middle. But as far as me giving somebody a record and they didn't finish it, not that I remember, not off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that has happened, you know, when you've been doing this 30 years like I have. I'm pretty sure that happened, but off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, so probably nobody you ever got a little attitude with and was like, fuck it. So if you don't remember it, then yeah, you ain't, and I don't think it happened. Because you're going to remember attitude.
Yeah.
I heard you say you picked Freeway beat, or his single, excuse me. Who played you the records, and was it Freeway that brought it to you, and you picked Even Though What We Do Is Wrong? You picked Even Though What We Do Is Wrong. Like, how did them records come to you? Did he play them? Like, did you?
Like, I don't want to say it, act like I picked out his single for him like this. Me and Freeway had a great relationship when he was in, when we was both at roc-a-fella. Like, Freeway's my man. We like, probably, I mean, PD Crack too. All them niggas was cool. I had no problem with nobody, say problem. They was all fucking cool, man. Like, Sparks and them niggas I brought up to my block, the 40th before, and Freeway. So one day, me and Freeway was in the studio, and I was playing on my music. You know, it's funny. I was playing on a song. Damn, what is the name of that song? I got a song. Bubble Music. I got a song, yeah, it's Bubble Music. And I was playing the song Bubble Music for Freeway. And it's a line that I said, I got hella gear. My earring is nice. The price 3 townhomes in Delaware. He was like, God damn, killer, I just bought a fucking house in Delaware. You talking about your earrings, the price 3 townhomes in Delaware. I just bought a town. I was like, you know, it's just bars. We just talking shit and shit. So I'm like, what's going on with your shit? And he like, yo, I'm trying to get a single, man. I'm trying to figure out a single. And so he played me some records. Those shits was tough. And then when he played me What You Do Is Wrong with Jay-Z, I said, yo, what the fuck this? this is a single. This is a single. He's like, but you know, during that era, that's the time where they be like, yo, you gotta have a single, you gotta have a single.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you got fucking Jay-Z on the record already.
Who's the A&R that overlooked it?
I'm about to get to that.
Oh.
So I'm like, yo, bro, I gotta say something for you if you don't mind. And like I said, I don't want to say and act like I pushed the record, none of that shit. But the next day, I went to the fucking office when I had an office in there. And I'm like, yo, I'm telling G. Roberson and them niggas, I guess, I don't know exactly who was his A&R, but I was telling G. Roberson, who was my man too at roc-a-fella, shout out to G. Roberson. I'm like, yo, that shit with fucking Freeway and Jay-Z and Beans, that shit is fucking crazy. Like, I'm talking about crazy, crazy. I'm like, I don't know what the fucking problem is. If y'all looking for a single, this should be the single. And like I said, I don't want to say and take credit and act like I went to radio with the record, did anything about it, but I definitely went to put the word in because I'm like, what the fuck are y'all looking for a single for? And this nigga got this fucking monster record. So that's how it kind of went. I didn't push the record. I didn't go to Def Jam and say, make this happen. I didn't say shoot a video for it. But I definitely, me and him was playing each other records and baseline. And I definitely went in the office the next day and said something like, I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas ain't pushing the button on this for. Don't get no commercial single. The man got Jay-Z on the record, which Jay-Z already is hot. And Free absolutely killed that record from the beginning of his verse to the end of his verse.
Yeah.
Killed that. So I put it like, I didn't say I did it, but I definitely went in the office and put in a word.
This is the part of Cam's story people don't give enough credit to. When you listen to Cam break down that era in the Ghostwriting for A-Hole's bar, you start to realize something bigger. Cam wasn't angry. He wasn't calling anybody out. He wasn't throwing shots at Kim or Freeway or anybody at roc-a-fella Records. What he was doing was showing you how much work he was actually putting into the culture. Work that most people never saw. Work that built some of the energy we still feel in hip-hop today. And that's why this moment hits different. Because when Cam explains it, you can hear the maturity. You can hear the experience of somebody who spent decades behind closed doors writing hooks, creating concepts, passing around ideas, and shaping some of these big records. You can hear the evolution of a businessman who understood how the industry shifted, how the value of certain things dropped, how some artists started treating creativity like it didn't cost anything. And Cam wasn't complaining at all. He was explaining the environment he had to operate in back then. Ghostwriters in the music business can earn a nice amount of publishing on any record if they negotiate properly, which means one song can generate steady income for years without the writer ever being the face of the track. That's why the Lil Kim story matters, not in a messy way, not in a gossip way, but because it shows how artists think. He gives somebody a concept. They don't want the concept, so he keeps it. He turns it into I Really Mean It, one of the biggest records of his career. And instead of bragging about it or saying she made a mistake, he just tells it calmly. Like somebody who's been in this game long enough to understand that everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own timing. And that's real growth and that's real perspective. Then you look at that Freeway situation. Cam could have easily said nothing at all. He didn't have to go to the label office. He didn't have to vouch for the What We Do Is Wrong record. He didn't have to put his name behind another artist's record. But he did it anyway because he believed in the music. That's the part I respect most. Cam has always had an ear for music. He's always had a sense for what makes hits. And a lot of people forget that. So let me ask y'all this. Do you think Cameron gets enough respect for the writing and ghostwriting he's done behind the scenes? And what record do you think Cam had the biggest influence on that people still don't talk about enough? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.